So we have like probably 2 more topics that we're gonna touch on.
Okay.
But most importantly, before we hit the topics, how are you? How is your mental? How is your mind? Like, how do you feel today, especially talking about this stuff?
I think I've made peace with talking about it.
Right.
And talking through it. I've had a really good support system throughout my life.
Mhm.
And talking about it today, I feel like I'm a lot more confident because I have a little more resources
Right.
and more knowledge on it. I know it's a really taboo topic, but a lot of people empowered me and told me it was okay to talk about this. They understood me,
Definitely.
without any self-motivation. I'm forgetting the word, but without any anything in return, them needing anything in return is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think I've been lucky enough to been steered the right way.
Mhm.
And by the grace of God, I've been surrounded by a lot of support.
Right.
So talking about it today is what your question was. I really just want to help where I can and share where I can,
Right.
Without sharing too much, because I think it's also really important to keep a lot of certain things within your close circle, because a lot of people have opinions.
Right.
Once you start sharing it, and that can also be hard to deal with.
Exactly.
And share what you can and share what you want, of course, but also be mindful of the repercussions. I think that's what someone highlighted to me earlier this year, is be very careful with what you share online, because everyone has a story. Everyone has two sides of things, and you don't know how it will negatively impact somebody else.
Right.
If you're not careful with your words, especially with your platform.
Yep.
So yeah, just having grace that way. And if you really are a good person, you wouldn't want the same for anybody else.
Right.
So just take what you learned and do better moving forward.
I love that. That's dope. Okay.
What about you? How do you feel while talking about it?
I am learning to accept it. I'm learning to walk with grace for it. So I still feel very like hurt inside talking about it, because yes, I've already talked about it in my projects, but being at a different point in my life right now, I feel like it hits different. And I've been very emotional as a man lately, especially due to recent events, which publicly went viral. I personally just feel like being up here to like actually start posting content again, it's not easy. It's not easy going deep, because I've been through a lot of life-changing experiences in the past 3 months, and my anxiety, I'm working through it. It's real bad. My nerves are real bad. So sitting up here this like bold and confident, just relaxed, is like I feel good. I feel good about it. I feel good that people are gonna see a different side of me. I don't think I've been this vulnerable, like where I shared things a little bit more in depth. Everything has always just been a mystery with me. So, and my dog wants to come over here. Come on, Autumn, come here. Come here. Come here.
Oh, she's...
Come on. Come.
Hey, yo, honey.
This is Autumn. She wants to be in the...
She's been dying for this opportunity. Right. Hey yo. Belly rubs. Hello.
She's so spoiled. But and another thing, so Autumn is my service dog. She definitely helps me with my depression and anxiety. And I once upon a time was embarrassed to even say that, but I'm okay saying it. Again, like I said, it's okay to not be okay, and I'm working through being okay. So I do feel good. I'm feeling great today, honestly, and I think I feel better because I'm doing it with you, and you're giving me that confidence to really be like, like things you're sharing with me is like resonating. It's hitting hard. So I feel positive.
Yeah.
I feel happy. I'm smiling again. It took a long time for me to be smiling, but here I am. So yeah, we can touch on the last two topics. We can actually, I want to like put a question out there, like how can survivors rebuild self-esteem after narcissistic abuse? There's three things, and I mentioned it just a while ago, but definitely seek trauma-focused therapy like EMDR, self-compassion, challenge negative self-talk, and reclaim your identity. You know, pursue hobbies, interests, things that you love doing, things that you're passionate about, anything that you lost interest in, push yourself, whether it's arts, music, cooking, all that stuff. For me, I lost interest in everything that I was passionate about. And a lot of people know I'm a man of many trades. I wear a lot of hats. I am a stylist, a wardrobe stylist. I do music. I am a chef. I used to breed exotic dogs. I'm a foster parent. And I like to do creative direction. I like to do a lot of things, house renovations, interior design. So I found peace and passion through all my trauma, and I compressed it all, and I put all my efforts back into creating. And creating keeps me going. It makes me feel like unstoppable. It makes me feel like I could like fucking build a mansion by myself with my two hands. Like, I feel like I could just do great things. So once I gained that opportunity to get up and, you know, get to work, here I am. So there's a lot of things coming 2025 and going forward for the rest of the years to come. And I'm glad that I get to share it to the world versus being behind the scenes. Now I'm gonna like be more vocal, in other words. So, how can we recognize the signs of someone struggling silently?
Oh, this is good because it becomes really easy to mask, and you wear a mask. And I think asking the right questions, I don't know what the right questions usually are, but you just have to pay very close attention to someone's mannerisms and behavior, because I'm also one that can mask it very well.
Me too.
And if I want you to see behind the looking glass, I will.
Right.
And sometimes I won't. And you won't know what, you know? And I think it's really important. I had a roommate, and she's like, you can be dishonest with everybody else as long as you either have one person you can be truly honest with.
Right.
But if you can't do that, just be honest with yourself.
That is a good one.
You know?
We need to put that on some shirts.
Yeah.
Like that.
Be honest with yourself, because she would always say, like, you know, I could be telling a flat lie and you'd be like, hey, Rach, that you're actually being really bad right now, or you're actually just not telling the truth. But be honest.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
How can you recognize someone struggling silently? I think I like to ask questions. A lot of people can't handle a lot of my questions.
Me too. I love asking questions. I noticed a lot from, again, like you said, people's mannerisms, people's demeanors, the way they respond, people's withdrawal from like social activities and just day-to-day stuff, like they're not answering the phone on do not disturb. The biggest one is the phone on do not disturb. Once I see that, I know it's like, okay, like you're really like, you're struggling. And for me, I feel like my biggest thing is like when I walk into a room, like with my family or just anybody, I literally feel like I change everybody's moods, because there's been so many scenarios where like my sisters or my parents, just anybody, and they'll just be like, you could tell they're down, like their mood is not, they're not happy, they're not jumping up, like, you know, like how they typically are. And I just crack a little joke, you know, I'm always myself when I'm around my people. And then it's like the whole mood changes. And like even when I'm on the phone, my closest friends, like I don't have a large friend group, but like they're considered family in a way. It's like I know their days like fucked up, and I'm sitting there just talking mad shit, laughing. and they're laughing, but they're really going through like for example, like they could be just got into a car accident or something. That's like, fuck, what am I gonna do? And it's like we're cracking jokes, or like we don't take life serious. And I just feel like once you have that ability to shine light on someone's day when they're down and you know they're down, it's like it changes the whole like perspective of someone struggling silently. And I love that I could do that. I love that I could walk in a room and do that for people. But yeah, so how do we address suicide in undeserved or minority communities?
Knowledge, resources. I think it all goes back to that. Like, in order to get there, you have to really feel like you have no other option.
Right. Exactly.
And I think all of them tie really well into each other because these are steps.
Right.
And I feel like this is the end all be all step. This is like the end step where everyone tries to prevent.
Right.
I think the more you know, the better. One thing that always was in my mind growing up is I cannot wait to see what the world has to offer.
Right.
I cannot wait to see Thailand. I cannot wait to see LA or live in LA or see the sun, you know?
We're definitely going to live in LA one day.
Yeah. Like there's so much in this world, and I think suicide can be very selfish.
I agree and I disagree with that.
Yeah, I can touch on both topics, but like you are loved, and I don't know what your situation is, but you really feel unloved in that situation. So I would like to hear your thoughts on the disagreement.
So for me, because I was once upon a time suicidal in my life, I feel like unless you've been in that mindset and you've attempted it, it is selfish 100%. But I feel like the reason why it's not selfish is because the weight on someone's shoulder isn't ever going to be put on your shoulder, and people can't take on other people's problems. That's the biggest thing. So it's like, yes, in a way, you don't have to suffer no more. You don't have to feel that pain anymore. But it's like in the end, you leave everybody to pick up the pieces. You leave everybody broken. So that's like, yes, that's where it's selfish. But at the same time, imagine you feeling like you don't know what to do anymore. Like you're constantly being attacked, or you're always going through something, or like you can't hold a steady job and you can't pay bills, or you're on the streets, or you don't have no family, you don't have nobody that loves you. Like we are loved, but there's really people out here that don't feel that love. And there's people out here that are really not loved. That literally people that are homeless were once upon a time a baby, a relative, a family member. Where are their families today? Why are they on the street struggling in the cold and not eating, and their whole appearance is changing from drugs? So it's like, if I was in that predicament, I would feel like, what the fuck am I struggling and living life for? I would rather just die. And me going through a lot of different experiences every year, I've felt like I wanted to end it all. I felt like it was like, what's the purpose? Like, what the fuck next? Like, what am I gonna have to deal with next and do damage control for next? So it's like, I would never recommend somebody commit suicide. I would never recommend. I would always push people to keep fighting, because I fought. Like we said, I'm a survivor in these situations. But that's where my disagreement comes in. Like, people that really battle through real like hardship. If that is a decision that you feel like you have to make, I don't condone it. But at the same breath, it's like, I don't feel your pain. I don't know what it feels like to wake up and be addicted to perks, or be like, you know, be an alcoholic, and just feel like, fuck, I have no family. I'm here by myself. No, I don't have friends. I don't, like, you know, like people that really feel like that. It's like, damn, like, is that a decision that an executive decision you got to make? But no, I don't believe in suicide. That's the biggest thing that we're going to be touching on too, suicide prevention. So
I think too, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Continue.
No, you can go.
I think that's the easy way out. And that's really harsh to say in some points, but it's really you giving up and saying there's nothing else. And believe me, I understand not feeling powerful enough to even lift a finger,
right,
to lift my head, to roll out of bed. And it'd be really easy to give up. The hard part is getting up and fighting for and looking. And that's what I'm trying to like stress, is you have to find the small glimmer of life or light to get up and see, because even that small effort can lead to so much.
Right, exactly.
And making a permanent decision, dude, like, come on. If you could really just shut out the lights.
But what about people that don't have that option, that are homeless and that are being abused or neglected or molested or all these things, that don't have those resources, that don't have a voice? And I'm saying this based off being a foster parent too, right? I've dealt with my kids being suicidal and wanting to end it all, trying to take pills, trying to overdose on whatever they could find. But imagine like their trauma, like they're being passed around in different homes, they're being neglected, they're in a system, in a group home, they don't have nothing, because those people do not love them. They're just there to work and do their job and go home. They don't give a fuck about. You have some people that do care. I personally care about my kids. I care about the system. I care about rehabilitating a child, you know. But there's some people that just that are in foster homes, like the things that they told me that went on is just like, how are you still fighting? Like, how are you this strong, you know? And I admire it. But as a kid that's 8 years old, 12 years old, how do you continue going? So it's like, yes, I want you to fight. I want you to keep going. I want you to know you're loved. But
I think as a society, we got to change then.
That's why I'm pushing the piece of my foundation, because if I don't get in touch with people that have the privilege and ability to put these programs in place, I don't really see nobody doing it. There's all these little programs and things that they have in place, but I don't feel like it's being broadcasted well enough. I don't feel like it's put out there well enough for people to really be like, I'm intrigued. I want my kid to go in this because I know my kid is battling. I know my kid's being bullied. I know my kid's going through identity crisis and sexual changes and all, you know, like, I feel like it needs to be enforced more in a way, just like they enforce the bullshit in society. So hopefully we could, you know, change that, break that stigma.
Yeah, I think like it's really hard. It's tricky, because if, you know, you really had some bad luck and your ducks were not aligned, they're all crooked.
Right.
You know, what do you do? And I think like it all starts, like I could, like back to the beginning, I can only control myself.
Controllable.
Control your controllables. And if I can be that small glimmer of hope or that smile that saved someone that day, like, you know, be the change you want to see. And, you know, I just pray.
You want to see. I like that.
Yeah. And I just want to pray over every person who feels like, I'll continue to pray over them, who feels like there's nothing and they have nothing.
Right.
Because that's not how God wants you to feel. And I think there was a lot of choices that I've made to still feel upset, sad, and hurt. And someone came in and said, take it off. Take it off like it's a jacket and give it to God.
Right.
All the self-doubt, the hurt, the, you know, the scars, they don't understand me, the everything. Take it off like it's a jacket and give it to the Lord, because it's not for you to carry.
Right. It's not.
You know, and that's where you find your hope. It could just be all be in here.
I gotta tell my mom that.
Yeah.
I like that. Nah, that's some real fact. And definitely on the site, like, maybe you could help me. We could put some of these scriptures and these slogans and stuff, because I feel like people, when they see these things, it's like, damn, like it resonates, because all that is resonating with me like really well. And again, I'm glad I'm hearing all this. I needed this today. I need this every day. So
what lessons have shaped you most?
Well, first, which we've been talking about, getting in tune with God, praying more.
Yeah.
That recently shaped me. Being resilient, gratitude, and knowing my self-worth. My self-worth is the biggest thing that I've learned more so recently.
Yeah.
understanding who I am, understanding the strength, the abilities that I have. Being a voice is the biggest thing, actually, to be honest. Being able to advocate and be a voice for mental health, depression, suicide, all that stuff, and especially within the youth, I feel like that's what's shaping me the most right now. I feel like a stand-up. I feel like I'm really about to make a difference in society, in my own city. Like, that's intriguing to me.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel like shaped me the most, especially this year.
No, I love that. And yeah, go ahead.
No, I was saying.
Oh,
You.
and me. What life lessons have shaped me the most? Stop waiting for people to come and change it for you.
That's the one.
I feel like I've always been waiting for people who I felt should have stepped in and did it for me, but they couldn't. So I had to do it myself and control the controllables, right?
Right.
I think that's the biggest life lesson, because like it's so easy, especially with different relationships in your life. It could be moms, dads, sister, brother, cousin, whatever relationship. You can't expect the other person to read your mind and to do it exactly how you want it because of what you understand.
Exactly.
Because they might not know and they might not have the resources, and you're only building up more resentment and anxiety and depression, waiting for them to change it.
Yep.
But you can only change yourself. And I think that's the biggest lesson I've learned this year. And thank God, I've gotten many perspectives from close legal friends to police force to friends, therapists, whatever. Just understanding your options and just seeing that life is tough and tough nuts, babe. You got to pick it up and take it.
Back.
And
punches.
Yeah, I grew this tough skin, and I'm a hustler, and I grew that hustler in me. And many people don't have the hustle in them, but I just knew that no one else was going to pick it up.
Right.
But me. And I could choose to do the easy route. I could choose to hop on that stripper pole. Yeah. I could choose to do whatever. There's so many easy ways in this day and age to, and nothing against that. It's just it doesn't align with my moral compass, and I'd rather choose a different route to put myself on because I've waited for so long for someone else to pick it up for me.
Right.
And another life lesson is the God part, for sure. I think a lot of this pain that a lot of people meant for evil on my life, maybe didn't even mean for evil. It's not mine to carry.
It's not. Definitely not.
It's not mine. And I thought it was this whole time because you did it to me.
Right. That's literally, I'm on the same boat with you with that.
Yeah.
Definitely not mine to carry.
Yeah. Take it off like a jacket. I think I was like, I could take it off.
Right.
My friend's like, yeah, take it off.
Exactly.
What the heck? I'm gonna swing this and toss that over there.
Right.
And when I did, and it's really like, where are you gonna put it? Are you gonna carry it? Like it's literally like attached to you. Are you gonna carry it around? Like you're holding on to it. You can let go if you want to. It's like a rope. Why are you dragging that around?
Drag that around for sure.
Yeah, man, take it off and give it to God. It's not. You've done all you could to correct it.
Right.
You've done all you could. And just have faith. That's where faith comes in. You don't know what's going to change.
Right.
But as long as you have faith in God, and obviously that's what I believe in, and, you know, that's where faith comes in. Believe that it's going to change.
Yeah, I'm being a believer right now because
if you believe it's going to stay, it's going to stay, right? If you believe it's going to change, it's going to change.
It's definitely changing. And then the also biggest one too, an old friend told me, she pretty much, well, it's a known saying, but actually hearing someone say it to you to stop pouring into people's cups that are not pouring into yours, that's walked with me for many years, because I was always that friend, that partner that poured into people's cups, and they were literally draining mine. And I'm glad that I could like walk with that, you know, like I don't do that no more. I don't fill in anyone's cup, especially if it's not reciprocated and it's not reciprocated correctly with like love and like passion. What are we doing? You know? So my biggest thing is learning to walk away. And if I feel like something is not for me and it's not correct, I'm walking away. Like there's been a lot of business opportunities and I just feel like it wasn't for me, where people would either like sexualize me or just whatever the case may be. And it's like, I don't need this shit. I don't care if you were giving me the biggest contract of my life. I'm not selling my soul. Like I'm just not. So I feel like over the past couple of years, being able to have the ability to walk away and just be like, fuck this, like what's for me will be for me. And I'm putting it in God's hands now, you know? And I feel like when I did that, I've been getting some really good offers and opportunities the past couple of weeks since I last seen you too. And I'm super excited to see what the new year is gonna bring. And you know, I'm gonna kill this shit. I'm no longer feeling sorry for myself. I'm no longer beating myself up or feeling this pain based off of what people have done to me. I'm going to mark it in my soul like, Jaquan, you are a survivor and you survived through the bullshit. Now it's time to trust in God and put it into God and like love yourself for you and not for other people. So I'm definitely walking with that. And yeah, that's that for that. I want to touch on one more thing. Z.
While that's happening, I did want to highlight and show appreciation that we are coming from a very first world perspective.
Right.
Because when you did highlight the fact of the foster kids and the suicide being, when I said it was selfish, we are both speaking from a first world perspective.
Right.
There are many people in this world that are going through war, you know, that they don't have the choice, they don't have the freedom of speech. And we get to sit on these two mics and in front of this camera and talk about our experiences. I think we are privileged in that.
Right.
And when I stress that we have a choice, I spoke to a refugee recently and she's like, so happy to be here from where she came from.
Right.
And that's where my perspective of we all have a choice in this life, especially in our first world, with our passport, with what we have, with access to these kind of programs in Canada.
Right.
We have so many resources that you just need to lift your hand, babe. You know what I mean? My stomach is going off, LOL. Yeah, it's really unfortunate that what we have to go through and what we have to work through. And it's really easy to say, yeah, but I'm fortunate enough to be here.
Right.
You know, that doesn't mean your problems aren't your problems and they don't hold weight.
Right.
I think what I will always stress is pick up your ass and get to work.
Fact. That is very true. I truly admire the fact that you just said you spoke to a refugee. I wish there was a hotline where, like, I know some of them don't have access to social media anymore and all the things that have been going on that I've seen on social media. I've never really got in tune with that stuff. But seeing like the disaster stuff going on, I still don't fully understand it, but I do want to educate myself with it. And hopefully sooner than later, the Peace of Mind Foundation can donate and help these people that are still fighting these wars be rehabilitated and be able to like give them hope, you know, because I'm really all for the people. I'm all for people that need it, that want it, you know, not people that are against it. I'm not here to change anybody or whatever the case may be, but the people that are really suffering in this world, it's like, it makes me feel like my problems are like small. So I feel like people should really take into consideration, which I'll bring back to suicide, that if you're having a bad day and you feel like you want to end it all, think about the people that are fighting these wars, that are their whole country's being bombed, and these little poor innocent kids are like, their legs are off their body and their heads are off their body, and the videos I've seen of their parents holding them, crying over them, praying over them in Arabic and different languages, it's like, damn, like what is life, you know? So I'm glad that I could be a voice for things that are going on in this country. It makes me feel like I could sleep good at night, you know?
Yeah.
So the last thing that I want to sum up, because this is the biggest problem: how does social media impact health positively and negatively?
Apparently, that cyberbullying movie didn't teach us nothing. Remember back then when they forced us to watch the cyberbullying thing? It seems like those standards are no longer here.
They're not.
It's because I grew up about, I think it was Amanda Todd.
Name sounds so familiar.
I think she did the cards, and she was like, "This is what I'm going through. I'm ending it." I remember being in school and watching that. I'm like, "Oh my goodness, someone felt that alone because people were so mean online, and this was allowed to happen." I think we're at an all-time high.
Trust me.
And
I'm experiencing it too. It's like, who would ever think, like, I personally don't be bothering people. I just like try to love on people. So like to know like people are here really like cyberbullying me, it's like it's crazy. So to know like people really went through that. Down. So to know people really go through that and went through that and like committed suicide from it or shaved their hair from it. I've seen so many stories. It's like people don't understand the effect they're having on that what they're doing is how it's affecting somebody else. And then until they're either in the hospital or dead, that's when people want to apologize. But some people really don't even care. They just go on with their day like, yeah. I talked my shit about this person and I bullied them, but
I feel like they don't look forward. You know, they don't see the repercussions of their actions. It's kind of like in a fight in a bar. If you're gonna go fight this person, you're just purely operating off of emotion.
Exactly.
And the feeling, the high that you get from doing this, because sometimes, let's face it, sometimes it feels good to be mean.
It does, but that also stems from childhood trauma. That stems from a broken home. That stems from a lot of...
It's comfortable, right?
And it's like, because you were so battered and broken and abused, you feel like I'm going to torture everybody else around me. And there's this one guy who keeps harassing me. And when I'm ready to speak about it on one of the episodes, I will. But it's like, as a Black man, you would think that his platform isn't even like as big. You would think that he would use his platform for positive outlooks on things. It doesn't have to be like talking about things that are going on in the world today. But instead of like using it for negative stuff, it's like, I don't know, it doesn't sit well with me. And then the people that entertain it in the Black community, is like, you're a mom, you're someone's daughter, or just things like the comments I see of people and I go to their page, it's like, imagine if this person was attacking your kid or your mom, or because this person has no filter. They
don't see that far.
Like he will attack a grandmother, dad, mom, a dying baby. He doesn't give a fuck. And it's really sad. And the things that were put out about me on social media, it makes me never want to show my face again in public and just live like a quiet life, like nobody knows me, like change my identity. And it's not solely from his impact. It's more so that like the world is cruel, it's nasty. Like, why do you want to sit here and deal with that shit, you know, when you could literally turn it off? I could turn it off. And for the first time in my life, I turned social media off when I went through my life experience stuff recently, and I turned it off. I didn't give a fuck about it. I didn't give a fuck about nobody. I focused on me because I'm important, not that bullying shit or what people are saying online. Because at the end of the day, when that computer or that phone shuts off and dies, you're nothing. Like that's people's outlook on life, like bothering people. And for me, I'm here to just spread love and spread awareness in life, you know? I don't give a fuck about what anybody has to say, or like if someone's hurting someone else. Like I'm gonna stick up for people, but certain battles are just not my own. And certain things that I've seen him do to people, it's like I would have an opinion about it, but I'm gonna just bite my tongue, because at the end of the day, where are these people when this person has an opinion about me? So definitely the stigma of cyberbullying needs to break. It needs to be done. It needs to be over with. People just need to stop having so much hate in their heart. Like, for fucking crying out loud. Like, even celebrities seeing the comments and shit that you don't even know this person. It's like, you guys need help. For real.
You got to do your own self-work, honestly, when it comes to that.
Right.
It goes back to the controllables. I feel like this is the title of this whole episode should be the controllables.
Yes, I'm going to definitely use that.
Yeah. And sometimes, like, someone can be banging at your door.
Right.
You don't have to open it.
Exactly. Back. That's a good one. But yeah, this was amazing. I'm looking forward to the other episodes, the other topics. So there's so much more good things that we're gonna talk about. We're also gonna do little activities and fun things too. It's not gonna be so heartfelt all the time. But I'm never coming off topic of what I stand for ever. So I want that to be known. But I'm also gonna use this platform for a lot of great things as well. So Rashad, I want to ask you real quick. Do you want to close this out with you want to bless them with a little vocal real quick, a little quick run?
No. I'm like, I wasn't prepared to say.
But yeah, she's a great artist as well. You guys should definitely check her music out. I'll put the links to her streaming services and stuff at the end of this video. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys for joining in at the Resilience Roundtable Talk. Oh my God, I fucked up on that part.
That's okay. Yeah, sure. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you joining the roundtable, and we touched on a few topics that I hope will help and provided some resources. And my main goal in this life is to create spaces where people can talk freely. And
exactly.
And I think you've really done it with this one. So thank you for that. And thank you for bringing me on.
Yes.
And I guess we'll see you guys next time.
Yes. And do not be afraid to look those hotlines up for suicide, abuse, anything that revolves around mental health that you're going through. There's a long list of them, which I'm not going to list out. But please find a hotline for that particular situation and talk to somebody. Do not take the easy way out, like Rochelle said. But thanks for tuning in. See you guys next time. I'm trying to find the light. Guess that's how it's been my whole life. Yet again, I'm knocked to the ground 'cause I'm breaking. Silence is louder than words. So why am I struggling to be heard? Me, myself, and I's all I got. It's who I'll always have in the end. Oh, friends tell me just stay strong, but